everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, let's talk about these cards that just skyrocketed in price, but should you be buying in? Let's jump into it. Now, as a reminder, the card list link to all these cards is in the description below, but yeah, I don't know if you should be buying into Quicksilver Elemental right now. I mean, there is reason to do so. Previously, let's say a month ago, there wasn't really a reason to do so, I guess. It was like a 41-cent card. Now it jumped all the way up to $15.63. So congratulations to those of you that hit the lottery and just had a lot of these in your binder, just like sitting around like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these pages of Quicksilver Elemental, my goodness, and all of a sudden, yeah, now that's worth some money. A 3/4 Elemental for 5 mana in blue. It says, pay a blue, it gains all activated abilities of target creature until end of turn, but it does specify if any of the abilities use that creature's name, use this creature's name instead, which is a weird specification, but yes, this essentially says, hey, I get your abilities, but not your name, which does have some implications that we'll talk about here in a little bit. It does say you may spend blue mana or mana of any color to pay the activation cost of Quicksilver Elemental's abilities. Cool. That doesn't really matter all that much. What does matter is the combination with a very popular commander now. I think I just did an episode on this one where I talked about how it's got like over 1,500 decks essentially built in the past week, which is by far the most out of commanders. It is an absurd commander that has some real potential. An absurdly priced commander. It's also adorable. Vivi! $85 for this monster. 0/3 wizard for 3 mana in Izzet. It says pay 0. Add X mana in any combination of blue and or red where X is Vivi's power. Activate only during your turn, only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a counter on Vivi and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So, obviously, the key here being, add X mana in a combination of blue and or red, which is the power. And being able to just go, oh, okay, I mean, as long as Vivi has, a decent amount of power, you can just activate that, well, which is Vivi once, but there is a workaround with that elemental gaining control of that activated ability, that part of it, being able to go, oh, okay, I get the activated ability, but not the restriction, and all of a sudden, yeah, I can just add infinite mana. Okay, I mean, rules lawyers out there, yes, not technically infinite, but a trillion, or whatever you want to call it, of blue and or red. Being able to just utilize all that, get all that mana, and being able to just, do whatever you want. So, yes, if that is worth $15 for you, congratulations. Go check it out. Go pick up that card. Or, again, super congratulations if you already had this card, which spiked again from 41 cents to $15 overnight, basically. Yeah, this is definitely a card to consider. That being said, it might not be worth it to you if you're a budget player like me and you're like, yeah, I could build like a full deck or even half a deck for that price. Another card that does work with Vivian combos is Deadeye Navigator. Old Faithful. That's not the nickname of this one, but okay, anyways. Deadeye Navigator, tried and true combo engine. 5/5 Spirit for 6 mana in blue Soul Bond. As long as it's paired with another creature each of those creatures has, pay 2 mana essentially. Exile, return back to the battlefield under your control. So yeah, this one is just $1.92, unlike, $15 Quicksilver Elemental. Oh, how the turns have tabled. That's not a phrase. Anyways, that's, a combo with Deadeye Navigator. Have you ever seen one of those before? Probably not. Yeah, you definitely have. So again, being able to essentially say, okay, I activate Vivi, add, let's say we have 3 power on this, okay? Add 3 mana, 1 blue, 2 red, whatever it is, and all of a sudden I use Deadeye Navigator to actually blink Vivi. Vivi goes away, comes back and says, where was I? Who am I? I forget. I'm not that previous person that I used to be because that's how magic works. And now I'm a brand new card, so I can activate that again. After essentially making sure that I have that power. So yeah, you do need a way to essentially make sure that that power is able to increase again. You do need to be able to maybe re-equip an equipment potentially is probably what it is. Like a Hero's Blade would be automatic, essentially, right? But you need a way to re-equip an equipment. So yeah, I guess you might need a little bit more power. Or if you got, say, like an Anthem in play, that would work. But you do need a way to get that power back because obviously those counters are going away. So there is kind of a restriction to that combo. Though, again, it is much cheaper than Quicksilver Elemental, which is now $15. My goodness! Next up, Freed from the Real. Yeah, this is a card that has been, again, a combo staple for a while, but kind of fell off in favor over, or at least people maybe forgot about it, or its prices started going down a little bit. It was down to like $2 or $3 at one point, maybe even less than that. Enchant Creature, it's old because it just says Enchant Creature versus be like, Enchantment, dash Aura, there you go. Enchant Creature, there you go underneath it. 3 mana in blue, pay a blue, tap Enchant Creature. That's nice. More importantly, pay a blue, untap Enchanted Creature. Yeah, you can see how that could be easily usable and abusable. Basically, yeah, you throw this on any creature that is tapping for more than 1 blue mana, and you're like, okay, infinite mana, good for me, yay. Or if you've got, say, a commander that maybe has a really cool activated ability, a really cool way to produce mana and give you something else with it, even if you're not getting infinite mana with it, you are still getting a absurd amount of value, absurd amount that, obviously increases this price all the way to $6, down from, again, like 2 or 3 or so. So, yeah, it's gone up quite a bit recently because of Yuna Grand Summoner. Final Fantasy X was my favorite Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII fans, I'm sorry. But it's really good, obviously, but Final Fantasy X, just kind of what I grew up with. Anyways, a 1/5 Human Cleric for 4 mana in Bant. Grand Summon. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. In this case, it's going to be blue. Just let you know, it's going to be blue. When you cast a creature spell this turn, that creature enters with 2 additional counters on it. Whenever another permanent you control is put in a graveyard from the battlefield, if it had one or more counters on it, you put that number of counters on target creature. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So this is a very, very, very cool brand new commander. $66.66 apparently for this card right now. Again, the set has not come out. The precons have not come out. So take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to the actual prices of the actual Final Fantasy cards. That being said, Freed from the Real is out, and because of this commander, it has spiked in price. Again, basically with this, you tap for a blue, and you say, okay, I pay a blue into Freed from the Real, and I untap this. I do it again, again, again. Again, rules lawyers out there, not an infinite number of times. You got to pick a number, but 1 trillion times. Which means when you cast a creature spell this turn, that creature enters with 2 trillion counters on it. Any creatures that you cast that turn. So, yeah, this is a great way to just get a lot of counters on something. I mean, an absurd amount of counters on something. So, again, Freed from the Real did spike in price, but there's another combo card that does the exact same thing. Like, literally the exact same thing. Very slight differences. But for some reason, it has not spiked in price yet. So, go pick up Penman's Aura, which is around the same price, but did not go up in price like Freed from the Real did. Enchant Creature. Again, it's an aura. Enchantment. Now, there you go. For 3 mana in blue. Pay a blue, untap Enchant Creature. Sound familiar? Pay a blue. Enchant Creature gains flying until end of turn. Pay a blue. It basically gets Shroud until end of turn, which is very nice. Pay a single mana, and Enchant Creature gets +1, -1, or -1, +1 until end of turn. Cool. I guess you could technically, I mean, no, because you're not going infinite mana, but if you had infinite mana, you could go, infinite toughness for this commander. But I guess you need, like, another thing like, something that lets, tap for an extra mana. There you go. Not the point. The point on this one, though, is literally, again, just a simple way to just attach this to Yuna and say, hey, everyone comes into play with 2 trillion counters, or whatever number you want to pick. So, again, this did not spike in price yet, for some reason. But Freed from the Real did go back up in price to, I mean, again, where it has been in the past, but was not recently. Freed from the Real, consider picking these up. Now, this one's worth your attention because Glinthorn Buccaneer, a card that for the longest time was a budget card for me. And if I ever had a commander deck where I was building, and it's like, oh yeah, this commander likes to discard. Cool. This commander likes to wheel. Cool. All of a sudden, Glinthorn Buccaneer's like, I got this. Here we go. Some damage. Yes. And now it's way out of my budget, nearly a $5 card. I mean, recently it was probably around like $1 or so, but like maybe $2. Previously to that, it was like 30 cents, and it was like, yeah, just throw it in the discard deck. No longer for me. Anyways, 2/4 Minotaur Pirate with haste for 3 mana in red. Whenever you discard a card, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. By paying 2 mana in total, discard a card, and draw a card. Activate only if it's attacking. Now, this card, again, is a great way to say, hey, I'm discarding. Ping everyone else. Yay! Awesome! Hooray! Great, good for me. Recently, it just got expensive because of a commander that combos with, well, a ham sandwich. Kefka, Court Mage. Here we go. A 4/5 human wizard for 5 mana in Grixis. I guess technically Kefka Court Mage does not combo, but something else does. When it enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type. My cards discarded this way. By paying 8, each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Transform Kefka, activate a sorcery. Now, the first part is nice because, again, like you're like, all right, Kefka entered or attacked. All of a sudden, Glinthorn Buccaneer's like, gotcha. All right, everyone else discarded. Ping everyone else. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. No, wait, I got that wrong. When I discard, ping everyone else. Yeah, if it was the other way around, that'd be even more powerful for that, but not more powerful for the actual combo because when you flip this over, it turns into Kefka, Ruler of Ruin. A 5/7 avatar wizard with flying that says, whenever opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards. The combo is simple. You go to your discard step, and if you have, more than 7 cards, you basically just win. Okay, cool. I mean, if as long as everyone's got, the appropriate amount of life and you're dealing enough damage, yeah, that's basically how that would work. Or if you've got like a free discard outlet, that would also work too. Because let's say you had a free discard outlet, you're like, okay, I discard 1 card. Cool. All right, it pings all my opponents. I have 3 opponents. I draw 3 cards. Okay, I do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Now, obviously, you might mill yourself out and lose with that scenario, or, the other one, but, if you've got enough cards in your deck, if you've got, some damage doublers, if you've got a way to prevent yourself from losing the game, if you've got a way to prevent yourself from drawing cards, I can't remember, there's like a little lizard familiar thing that lets you do that, where it's a really weird card, but it does come in handy in certain circumstances. Again, then that combo with Glinthorn Buccaneer can win you the game. So again, this card did spike in price. There are other ones that have not spiked in price yet, though, that you might want to check out if you're looking for weird, wonky, fun combos with Kefka. I brought one up in another episode. Feast of Sanity is one that does do that as well in a bit of a different fashion. Whenever you discard a card, 1 damage to any target and you gain 1 life. So this one is more targeted. It's not just to every opponent. It is just to one opponent. But being able to, or I guess technically it could be creatures too, but any opponent is what you're going to be doing. So again, you go to your discard step. If you've got 8 cards going down to 7, you're like, okay, I have to discard a card. Oh no. All right, well, I guess I ping you. Oh no, I drew another card. Well, it's my discard step, so I still have to discard. Okay, again, and again, and again, and again. As long as your opponents have less life than cards in your library, in total, you win the game. Yeah, that's a way to do it. Or, free discard outlet. Or, again, if you've got damage doublers, damage triplers, that could help, obviously. Keep that in mind. Starving Revenant. When this enters the battlefield, surveil 2, then for each card you put on top of your library, you draw a card, lose 3 life. That being said, to send 8, whenever you draw a card, if there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, target opponent lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. Obviously, this is dependent on you having to send 8. That being said, being able to just go, okay, I draw. All right, awesome. Everyone else loses a life. All right, cool. I draw 3 cards. Everyone else loses life, and I draw cards. Cool, awesome. You just keep going again and again and again with this scenario. Or how about the OG? I mean, this is 16 cents. It's quite the steal. What was Fraying Sanity? That was 18 cents. How about the OG? Psychosis Crawler. Again, basically, this one has done so much work in Commander games. It's absurd. It was not even a Phyrexian at the time, but it was doing so much work. I mean, it got errated, but still. A star Phyrexian that costs 5 mana, and it says, power and toughness each equal to the number of cards in your hand. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. So again, basically like Starving Revenant without the life gain and without the Descend 8 requirement. So again, a combo that does work quite well. Also, Niv's back, everyone. My goodness, Niv. You didn't need more combos, but apparently you need more combos. A 5/5 Dragon Wizard that can't be countered for 6 mana. Very specific mana cost, but 6 mana. And is it flying when you draw a card at 1 damage to any target whenever a player casts an instant sorcery spell, you draw a card. Yeah, being able to, again, draw, ping, draw, ping, draw, ping, draw, ping. Yeah, Niv obviously combos with a lot of things on its own, like Curiosity, things like that. That being said, this time Niv is kind of the second player in the game, essentially. The other part of the combo, as you would, for the commander of Kefka. And of course, because Niv Mizzet Perrin does the combo, so does Niv Mizzet the Firemind, because both basically have the exact same trigger in a way. 4/4 Dragon Wizard flying for 6 mana, and is it, though slightly easier to cast. Whenever you draw a card, Niv Mizzet deals 1 damage to any target, tap, draw a card. Yeah, again, draw damage, draw damage, draw damage, draw damage. You see what's happening here. It's kind of like Sanguine Bondish, Exquisite Bloodish-ish. Both card draw involved again, so yeah, you do need like a library limiter. You do need a way to maybe shuffle things back in your library. You need a way to prevent yourself from drawing. You need a way to I mean, prevent yourself from drawing wouldn't actually do it. But, you know, you need ways to essentially ensure that you can make your opponents lose the game while you also don't lose the game yourself. So, yeah, there are some interesting combos. Glenhorn Buccaneer is the one that did spike recently because of this commander. The other ones have not. So if you are looking to build around this commander and combo with, again, a ham sandwich, make sure you build in ways to, well, shuffle things back in your library so you've got more cards or dish out more damage with these things, essentially. But yeah, Glenhorn Buccaneer, that's the one that went up in price. And finally, Azuri fans out there, yeah, the Simic Azuri, not the mono green Azuri. Sage of Hours is now even more expensive because, well, it combos with a brand new commander. How about that? Well, okay, technically, I'm cheating on this one. It combos with a creature that is a commander, but it can't go in that commander deck. Okay, I am cheating on this one. I will be upfront with that, all right. But it did spike in price recently because of, well, a card that we'll get to in a minute. A 1/1 human wizard for 2 mana in blue. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell at target, Sage of Hours, put a counter on it. Move all counters from it. Reach 5 counters, move this way, take an extra turn after this one. Yeah, you can see how that could be combo-rific. Wizards, when you printed this, you're like, wow, it's going to take someone 5 turns to do this because they have to cast spells. I mean, maybe not 5 turns, but at least 5 spells to get counters on this. It's like, well, there's many other ways to easily get counters on things. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you probably knew what you were doing. You're like, it's got a combo. It's got a combo. We're going to act like it is a combo, but it combos. Yeah, so being able to just get 5 counters on it, you get extra turn. Hey, if that and then extra turn, do you get 5 counters on it? Then you get another turn for that. And again, and again, and again. This is infinite turns on a creature. So, of course, luckily for players who don't necessarily want to play against a combo-centric Maester Seymour, I said Seymour, oh my goodness, Seymour deck, yeah, this is not in the 99 of the deck, because Maester Seymour is a mono-green commander. Thank goodness not Simic. If it was, it would be a combo in that deck. That being said, still a combo you should look out for, and again, a reason why Sage of Hours just spiked in price. A 1/3 Human Elf Cleric for 3 mana in green. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of counters on equal to Maester Seymour's power on another creature you control. By paying 5 mana in green, Monstrosity X corrects the number of counters among creatures you control. Yeah, this is one where, essentially, again, in any kind of a Simic strategy that's utilizing a bunch of counters, again, like an Azuri deck, you're like, oh, cool, awesome. Yeah, if I just get Maester Seymour, I can't get the name right. Maester Seymour, there we go. My goodness, it's been a hot minute since I played Final Fantasy X. Again, I said it's my favorite one, but I just misspoke on the name a couple times. Okay, so this one essentially, again, with an Azuri deck, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Put a ton of counters from Azuri onto Seymour, and you're like, okay, cool. Seymour Guado. Like, why can't they call it Seymour? There's probably another Seymour Guado. Anyways, being able to get all those counters on this, and then you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, beginning of combat, my turn to get over counters from here on another thing. It's kind of like a backup from, you know, Azuri if Azuri gets dealt with in a way, kind of in a bit. But of course, in other counters decks too, it's like, okay, just get a ton of counters on this, and then just get a ton of counters from this onto another creature. In that case being, of course, Sage of Hours. Being able to go, okay, yeah, was it 5? It was 5, right? Okay, cool. Which again, Seymour has, you know, Monstrosity X. So, yeah, you can just Monstrosity to get to the number of counters. And all of a sudden, once you're at 5, Sage of Hours gets the counters. You remove them, extra turn. Next turn, exact same thing. Next turn, exact same thing. Slowly adding to your army or doing whatever you need to do to win the game, of course, though. But yeah, again, $7 right now, spiking up in price. Yeah, you determine if this one is worth the price itself. So yeah, overall, some massive price swings because of some brand new Final Fantasy cards that came out, and players like, wait, my giant binder of Quicksilver Elementals is finally coming in handy. Yeah, I mean, that went from, again, like 41 cents up to $15. The biggest spike in price that we saw out of the ones I brought up in this episode. Of course, there are other ways to go about that combo, obviously, again, with Vivi. Again, I brought up Deadeye Navigator. You do need, like, a Anthem there play, or, again, like a Hero's Blade, something that can actually pump Vivi. Again, you can utilize, like, a, say, Black Blade Reforged if you got enough mana from Vivi, which you probably will. But being able to essentially, again, combo easily Quicksilver Elemental, that is a way to do it. That being said, yeah, Freed from the Real used to be a little more expensive, and all of a sudden went down over the years, and went right back up with Yuna, because Yuna says, hey, you know what, you want 2 trillion counters on all your creatures this turn? Cool, have fun with that. Though Penman's Aura has not spiked yet, so make sure you check that out. Glenhorn Buccaneer, this one did go up because of Kefka. That being said, there are plenty of other combos with Kefka too. So again, if you're like me and a budget player and you're like, I don't really want to spend $5 on one card, although I think I do have a couple of Glenhorn Buccaneers right now because I do have, some discard decks that like to utilize it. So cool, I can utilize those maybe. But yeah, if you don't want to spend on a brand new Glinthorn Buccaneer, Psychosis Crawler is quite cheap. So there you go. There's other ways to go about it. Psychosis Crawler, Fraying Sanity were a couple I brought up as well. Or how about finally again, Sage of Hours? Yeah, there's not really a replacement for Sage of Hours when it comes to like, hey, a bunch of counters. Hey, extra turn. Hey, a bunch of counters. Hey, extra turn. So you kind of determine for yourself if Sage of Hours is worth it. Again, if you are interested in any of the cards I brought up on this episode, including the ones that spiked or the other cards that I mentioned, the ones that maybe are replacements or the ones that, well, are the actual commanders themselves, yeah, there you go. Make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. And with that, this episode is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on this episode. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.